This episode mainly focuses on Netero and why he's a beast. So what we learned from this entire episode is that he wanted to show gratitude towards his teacher because he taught him so much, and he's like 48 years old right now at this time. We see a little flashback here. And how he shows his gratitude towards his teacher basically is that he trains in and day out, throwing punches. He said to throw 10,000 punches of gratitude. For 2 long years, he does this day in and day out. He punches, and then falls asleep, gets back up, and starts doing it over again. And after those 2 long years, something clicked, something happened. And so he goes to his dojo, he demonstrates his skills to this master. And when we see that skill, when we see him throw that punch, it is said that he can punch faster than the speed of light. His punch is so fast that no one could see it. It was so crazy, so powerful, so beautiful. It made the master of that dojo break down to tears and bow to him and said, "You can have my dojo and let me train under you." That is just freaking crazy. And so we go back to present time. They had this airstrike raid, and it's not just Netero that's with them. It's also Killa's great-grandfather. And so Neferpito notices that someone is coming. She just looked up by chance and noticed someone was coming. And so she initiates and puts her into attack mode, and she goes and try to find the enemy. And so she runs into Netero, and Netero's like, "You little ant, you messed up trying to come up here, because I was calculating a ton of ways you would attack me, but you made the wrong move." And so what he does is that he just flicks his arm, and somehow, because he moves at the speed of light, he gets like his hand, or he really moved or something, and just knocked Neferpito away with his nin. Neferpito's flying, she's just like, "What happened? I didn't even see anything. Like, what's going on?" And so what she does to try to stop this momentum, because if this kept going on, she would have been out of the battle. And so what she does is uses her healer thing, because it's connected to her. She ended up basically grabbing onto her tail, because that's how they're connected, and basically keeping that healer thing stationary to where she can like stop the movement. And so she's successful at doing so. But the problem is, there's an air raid of just dragon fire going down onto the castle, and we see that in Neferpito's perspective. And so we see Shalapoof in this episode as well, and he's noticed the air raid and everything like that. But the problem is, he ain't worrying about the people, he's worrying about the king, and he's focused mainly and solely on protecting the king, and so that's what he's trying to go do. The only other parts in this episode is that we see Gon go into this very dark, deep place that only Killa is the one that noticed it. So he is in a mode where he's ready to kill. And so they go through the portal, they go to where the stairs are, but the problem is they run into Yopi, because Yopi is sitting on the stairs where they have to go up to go get the king. I love the cinematic flair that they had in this episode, where they had just the narrator, the one mainly talking there through the entire episode, telling everything that's going on with it. It was very interesting. I kind of like the approach that they did with this episode. Honestly, I was expecting something a lot different. I thought this episode was going to be a lot of action, a lot of crazy crap going on, but this was just showing more intensity, more fear, and just more ridiculous power level, honestly, within Hunter x Hunter. Like, this was just a really good episode overall with how they set this up. But there are 2 things that I'm kind of curious about with this episode, and it focuses on Netero. One, how do you train for 2 years and not eat or drink anything? Like how you do that? How you do that? I want to learn that ability. I want to be able to not eat, drink, and just be beast like that. Can I have that? Can I have that ability? What's up with that? The other thing is his age. He started out as 48, and then after 2 years, 50. But they said that he's been just training and just doing things for the past 6 decades. Decades is 10 years. So if you add this all up, this dude is actually 110 years old. Wow! Like, how do you do it? See, that's why you a beast, man. This is why you a beast, man. That's just freaking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Also, with this episode as well, we see the episode, like the ending credits and stuff, like the next episode preview of what's gonna happen next, and it looks like Komogi may be dead. So why is she dead? What happened? I'm very curious to find out why, because the king does seem depressed about this. But like, who would kill her? Like, I'm very curious to why that happened. And honestly, well, maybe I'm gonna take a guess. Maybe Palm came by and maybe killed her. I don't know. If you don't know where Palm is, you don't know what happened to her. So, it's a possibility. I don't know. But honestly, I seriously cannot wait for the next episode. This episode was just really, really good, and how everything was set up. And I just know the next episode is just they're about to really go in. We're gonna have to see some excellent fighting going on, and I don't know, Shia LaBeouf is coming into the castle as well, so they might run into Shia LaBeouf at some point in time too. So this is it's about to get real crazy. It's about to get real crazy, and the king is also pissed. So we're also about to see him just go crazy as well. Like, I cannot wait to see how the next episode is gonna be. This is worth the wait, the 2-week wait for this episode, because this was something I honestly didn't expect, and I love it. I love it. So yeah, this has been my review for Hunter x Hunter. Leave your comments below and tell me what you think of this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Hunter x Hunter reviews from me. So that's been the Break Master, and until then, people, break out.